Mobile Industry Review, Mobile Developer TV.
Yeah, my name's Richard Kastelein. I'm from AppMarket.tv and Agora Media Innovation in London. Well, actually, I've been in social TV since about 2007 on an early startup where we took we took real-time 3D to linear broadcast, and we used telephones to bypass the remote using advanced IVR technology and business logic, which allowed viewers to create characters on linear broadcast. We had a maximum of 100 people per room, and it was quite interesting. We ran it with Super RTL and RTL in Germany, SBS in Belgium. We did a lot of piloting, but it was always at 3 in the morning. Well, you know what's on at 3 in the morning in the Benelux countries in Germany. It's sort of like tits and ass in competition. So it never really took off. But we did exhibit it in MIP in 2008, and it was absolutely a cool event. But through that process of being early in the social TV space, I was always fascinated by it. In 2008, I went to IBC, which is the International Broadcasters Conference in Amsterdam, and I started seeing the first proof of concepts from Yahoo, Samsung, NDS, Orca Interactive, and I was like, yeah, baby, here it is. It's coming. Rather than this clunky remote 3D virtual stuff, we're entering a real phase where we're going to have true interactivity besides IPTV. Well, it became my specialty. Historically, I've been a writer for 20 years, journalist, editor, publisher. I did the online thing. I was involved in a lot of politics in the past. But I made it, after I had the experience of being with a startup, I really became more fascinated with technology. I mean, I was using open source systems back in 2003, PHP BB3, so I started building early forums, something called expat forums for English speakers on the continent, which was a really cool forum because everybody was at work, playing around. But I got into the whole open source movement, and through that process I got involved in startups, and through that process I got involved in the idea of social TV. So subsequent to that, I decided last year to sort of drop my portfolio of political online publications and move directly towards technology. And I chose social TV in the beginning as a publisher to focus on. And it was interesting because we started in April last year, so we're almost a year old. Or we are a year old now. Yeah. And from zero to now, we've done about 1,200 articles. We have 10 writers. We're covering specifically TV apps, connected TV, social TV, transmedia, which is the creative side, and what's the last one? Anyway, I'll remember. Smart TV, one of those things. There's about 5 things anyway. Yeah, I was on the TV app panel, basically social TV, multi-platform applications panel, and it was actually great because we had a couple of young guys that were really creating stuff, as well as some of the old school. We had Samsung there, so we had a voice from the connected TV space. We had Jeroen from Ex Machina, a young company in Holland that's doing some great stuff with programs like Germany's Next Top Model, providing the second screen interaction. Right. And they're also working with a project called The Toppers, which has been sold to NBCU. So it was no, not The Toppers. Sorry, Holland's The Voice of Holland. It's called. Right. And it's been sold to NBCU, and it's now The Voice of America. And this is a John de Mol Productions from Talpa. So nice. It's a really great time for them to start introducing this second screen stuff into the U.S. on a new format. Also on the panel was Tom McDonald from Monte Rosa. They've done some stuff with the £1 Million Drop. Oh yeah. And then we had representation from Orange and actually some top shelf guys from Endemol. So it was an interesting mix of people. It was pretty well attended for a 9 a.m. After the party night. It wasn't bad. We actually kind of filled it out. We were really happy about the attendance because we weren't sure whether it was going to be 3 people in the door or 50, and it turned out there was more like 75 or something. So. Well, actually, yeah, I'm hoping to see one of the speakers this afternoon. So we're over here or this morning, and just to check it out. This is the first time I've been over to this side. So I've been mainly over at the Experience Hub, which is also quite interesting. I don't know if you guys have been over there, but. AppMarket.tv is more or less we call it an open source journalism, open source market intelligence And that's basically our PR tool, but it's also how we share what we learn about the industry, this emerging industry, with everybody. So we don't put anything behind a paywall. There's no advertising. We don't charge for reports. We're an open source concept. Off the back of that, we built something called Agora Media. We're working in a circle between venture capitalists, startups, and broadcasters. So we've introduced some really cool technologies to BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Sky. We come in with what we call our bag of bits, and these startups have come to us because we're writing about a space that they're very interested in, and we've introduced them to broadcasters in the UK, and it's been, that process, it's really weird because we weren't sure how we made the decision not to monetize the site but be open, but how are we going to make money? And we've sort of let that organically grow, and Agora Media is finding opportunities in multitude of directions. agoramedia.co.uk.